Good morning. Today we are discussing about the chemistry subject. In that, the first chapter, that is the periodic table and electronic configuration. So your chemistry textbook was, there are two parts. In the first part there are 4 chapters, in the second part there are 3 chapters. In the first part, the first chapter will be the periodic table and electronic configuration. Today we are discussing that chapter. Before going to the chapter, as you studied in the 9th standard, right, about the atoms. So what do you mean by atom, or what is the building blocks of a matter? As you know, all the matter will be formed by using the atoms, or the building blocks of the matter will be atoms, right? This all you studied in the 9th standard about the atoms and the atoms structure, right? So which is the last development in the structure of the atom, or which is the last development, or which is the last theory in the 9th standard? That will be the Bohr's theory, right? So in the Bohr's theory, he explained the structure of the atom. So what is the important points of that theory? So let us see what are they. So he given a structure, right? He given a structure of atom. In that, the nucleus will be in the center of the atom, and this nucleus contains proton and neutron. The nucleus contains proton and neutron. The proton will have positive charge. The proton will have positive charge, and the neutron will be neutral. There is no charge. And the electrons are revolving around the nucleus in a particular path, right? That path was called as orbit, or it was called as shell, or it was called as energy levels, or the main energy levels. The electrons are revolving around the nucleus, and that path was called as orbit, and or it was called as shell, or it was called as main energy level. And this main energy level are named, right, in the Bohr theory. Which was the name? The name was given as in the capital English letters, that is the K, L, M, N, or in the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4. We are giving the name or the numbering from the nucleus, right? Not from here. Okay. So this K, L, M, N are the shells, or it can be give the number, that is the 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the main energy levels, or the orbit, or the shells where the electrons are revolving in the atom. These all are the some points or the postulates of the Bohr's atomic theory, right? So how we can write the shell-wise electronic configuration? You studied in the 9th standard first chapter. So how we can write? It is written by using a formula, that is the 2n square. So what is the n value here, or how we can find out the n value? N value is the number or the shell number. Here the shell number 1 for K shell, right? So n value for K will be 1, and L will be 2, M will be 3, N will be 4, right? So how many electrons are present? One shell, or in the K shell or L shell. So how we can find out? By using this formula. So let us find out 2n square, right? So n equal to 1 for K shell. For K shell, n equal to 1. Let us substitute the value. So you will get the 2, right? In the K shell, the number of electrons will be 2. In the L shell, that will be the value of n will be 2, right? So 2 square. What is the answer for this one? You know, 2 square is the 4. 4 into 2 is the 8. For the L shell, the electrons are present only the 8. In the L shell, only 8 electrons will be maximum. In the M shell, that is the M will be third shell. So 3 square, you will get 18 as an answer, right? If you find out this answer, you will get the 18. In the M shell, 18 electrons will be maximum. So next will be N, right? In the N, the N shell, the N value will be 4 and you will get the 32 for N shell. So the maximum number can be occupied in the shells for the K 2 and L 8, M 18 and 32, right? So let us write the shell wise electronic configuration of sodium. So what is the atomic number? Atomic number is equal to the number of protons, or it is also equal to the number of electrons, as you studied in the lower classes. Atomic number is equal to number of proton or number of electron in the atom form. So this atomic number can be represented as Z. So let us write the shell wise electronic configuration of sodium. We know Z equal to 11, right? So electronic configuration will be in the K shell 2, in the L shell 8, and 8 plus 2 is 10, 1 is remaining, it will be goes to the L shell. So K, L, M. 3 shells are there in the sodium, right? If you take the example as a potassium, that is the K19, this 19 will be the atomic number, so Z equal to 19. So how we can write the shell wise electronic configuration? That will be the 2, 8, 9, as you think, right? Because in the M shell 18 electrons can be accommodated, so we can write as a 9. But the later some theories was proved that it was wrong. So how it is wrong or why it is wrong, it will be studied later. It can be written as 2881. The electronic configuration of potassium will be 2881. So now what is our question? Why it is wrong? Let us take an answer for this one. So as we know, for the potassium, Z will be, that the atomic number will be 19, right? So electronic configuration will be like this, but it was not true, or some theories put forward after the Bohr atomic model will be proved that this will be wrong. So what are they? So what is the postulates of that? That is the shells are again contains the subshells, or the main energy levels are divided into some energy levels or the sub energy levels. They are called as subshells. Main shells again have the some divide, so it will give the subshells. So which are they? They are the S, P, D, F. 4 main shells and the 4 subshells. So these subshells are represented in the small letters. The subshells are represented in the small letters, but the main shells are represented in the main shells, right? These in the subshells, the electrons are occupied in the some place. That place was called as orbitals. The electrons were present in the subshells are called as orbitals. So one orbital will occupy only 2 electrons. One orbital occupies only 2 electrons. So let us study how many orbitals are there in the 4 subshells. In the S subshell, only one orbital is there. In the one orbital, how much electron can be occupied? It will be 2, right? From here, it will be 2. In the P subshell, there are 3 orbitals are there. So how many electrons can be occupied? It will be 6. 3 2s are 6. In the D subshell, 5 orbitals are there. So 5 into 2s are 10 electrons can be accommodated. In the F subshell, 7 orbitals are there. So how many electrons can be occupied? 7 into 2. How much? 14 electrons can be occupied. So what we now studied? We studied about the subshells, right? What do you mean by subshells? Subshells are the subshell of the main energy shell. That means the Bohr give the 4 shells, right? Main shells. These are divided into subshells. They are S, P, D, F. So how much electrons can be accommodated here? In the S it will be 2, in the P it will be 6, in the D 10, in the F 14. This much of electrons can only accommodate in these subshells. So let us give a relation about the shells and subshells, or the how many subshells are present in the shells. In the K shell, only S subshell is present, because in the S subshell, how much electrons can be accommodated? 2, right? In the K also 2. So S will be the subshell of K. So K can also be represented as 1, right? By using the Bohr atomic theory. So here we can write 1s. K shell has the 1s subshell. So let us see in the L shell, it have the 2s and 2p subshells. In the L shell, 2s and 2p subshell is there. In the L, how many electrons can be accommodated? It will be 8, right? In the S, 2, and in the P, 6. So total 8. 2 plus 6, 8. So in the M shell, how many subshells are there? It has the 3. 3s, 3p and 3d. There are 3 subshells are present in the M. So how many electrons in the S2, in the P6, in the D10? So it will give the 18. In the M, 18 electrons are there, no? So in the 3s2, 3p6, 3d, 10. So total 18. So in the N shells, how many electrons are there? It will be 32, right? So how many subshells are there? 4s, 4p, 4d and the 4f. So how many electrons? 2 plus 6 plus 10 plus 14. Total it will be the 32. So in the N shell, 4 subshells are there and also 32 electron can be accommodated. So which is the same subshell present in the 4 shells? It will be S. S is present in the all the shells, right? There is no 1p and 1d. Always there is a question in the exam, that is whether 1p, 1d, 1f is exist. But no, only the 1s will be exist, not 1p, 1d, 1f. One shell or the K shell have the only one subshell, that is the 1s. In the K shell, only one subshell is there, 1s. In the L, only 2. There is not 2d and also 2f. In the exam, they will ask whether 2d or 2f is present, or they will give find the odd one. So in that they will give the 2d, 2f. But 2d, 2f is not exist. In the L shell, only 2 subshells are there. That will be the 2s and 2p. Are you getting? That is the K19. What we told before, that is a 2881. Why like this? Let us write subshell electronic configuration of K19. Z will be 19, right? So let us write. In the K shell, that will be the subshell will be 1s. The electrons can be written here in the above of the S. This number represents the shell number and this is the number of electrons or the atomic number. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. How much now? Only 10, right? Next 3s2, 3p6. After we cannot write 3d because energy of the 3d is lesser than 4s. The 4s have before the 3d, so 4s here. Here will be the electron 1. So when writing the shell wise, it will be 2 and 8, 8, 1. Now you got the answer for this one, right? Why the K19 written as like this? Because subshells are there and the subshell electronic configuration is there. So we write the electronic configuration of potassium is like this. Before going to the electrons to 3d, the electron will goes to the 4s. The order of filling of electrons in the subshell is like this: 1s, after this 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 4s, 3d. Okay, let us write some examples for writing the subshell electronic configuration. As you know, for example, sodium, it has the atomic number 11. So let us write. That is the 1s2 first, next one is the 2s, 2s2, next one is the 2p, 2p6. How much? It will be 10, right? 2 plus 2 plus 6, 10. 1 will be remaining. It will goes to the next one, that is the 3s1. This is the electronic configuration of sodium. So let us write for the boron. That is the Z equal to 5. It will be 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. 1s2, 2s2, 2p1. This is the electronic configuration of boron. So let us write the for the carbon. It will be the atomic number will be the 6 or the Z equal to 6. It can be written as 1s2, 2s2, 2p6. I think now you got how we can write the subshell electronic configuration, right? I will give some homework. Do in the home and write in your notebook after listening the class, okay? First one is the aluminium, second one nitrogen, third one fluorine. You will get the atomic number from the periodic table, right? Write the homework and the notes will be sent through the WhatsApp or it will be the PDF will be there in the description link, and just write it and submit to the teacher. So let us memorize what we studied today. So first one is what is the atom? Atom is the building blocks of a matter, right? Next, Bohr model of atom, or how the shell was named, or what is the structure of the atom. So after studying Bohr model, we have a disadvantage in the Bohr model, that we cannot write we can't write true electronic configuration of potassium. So it was overcome by the subshell electronic configuration, right? Now you learn to write the subshell electronic configuration. Practice it in home. In the second part, we can study what is the energy levels of these subshells, or which principle helps us to write the subshell electronic configuration, or the other rules present in this electronic configurations. Okay, thank you.